Hello, welcome to TechGenMed. Today we are going to start with the new case study, and the topic of the case study is leave management system. Okay, so throughout this session we will see each and every aspect of developing the case study, like what are the screen that we are going to use in this. We are going to discuss about those screens, as well as we will discuss each and every logic that we are utilizing for this leave management case study. Okay, so let me show you the functionality that we are going to implement for this case study. So these are the three categories you can consider as a module for this case study. The first one is a login screen. So here what we will do, we are going to provide one screen to user uh, he can log in with as a two type of user. First one is an employee and second one is an manager. So based on their credential, we are going to validate the data, and accordingly we will provide the particular dashboard to the user. If user is signing in with the credential of employee, then we are going to show the employee dashboard, and we will provide all the basic functionality that he needs to uh, implement the leave. Like if someone wants to apply the leaves, then he can simply log in with their employee credential, and then they can easily implement the leave or apply the leave. Now the another login credential is for manager. So let's say if a manager wants to update some data or some specific information for the employee, in that case he can directly log in with the manager ID, and then he can process the data accordingly. So let's see what all functionality we are going to provide for the other two modules, which is employee dashboard and manager dashboard. So for employee, we are going to prompt one screen with proper leave balance. Like let's say if user A has logged in into the system. So on that first screen, the first screen we are going to show all the leave balance he has. Let's say if employee has 10 earned leave, 5 casual leaves, and we will also show how many leaves he has already taken. So like leave availed. Okay, so these are the details that we are going to show to the user on that particular dashboard, employee dashboard. Another thing we are going to provide to user is he can apply the leaves, two types of leave. First one is the earned leave, and second one is a casual leave for a particular or a specific date of range. Okay, so through this screen he can directly put the start date and end date for a particular range, and on the basis of that date we are going to add the leave, or we are going to apply the leave for that employee. We are also taking care of the weekends here. Let's say if someone has applied leave for from Friday to Monday, so in that case leave should be only considered for 2 days, not for the weekends, because Saturday Sundays are there in between these date. So we should exclude that, and so we are taking care of this thing also in the case study. The third thing is regarding the manager dashboard. So what we are doing here, like in for manager dashboard, we are going to prompt one screen from where the manager can simply put the ID, employee ID, for which he wants to update the data. And once the employee ID is provided, then it will be validated, and after validation it will show all the data of current status for the leaves and leave balance for that particular employee. So from there means the manager can simply put the requirement on the screen, and likewise he can update the data for the employee. So as soon as the manager updates the record for the employee, the same thing will be updated into the file, and next time whenever user going to show the details, it will be populated with the latest information. So this is how we are going to implement this case study. And one more thing, like for this development we are going to use some ILE concepts like procedures, modules. So this thing we are also going to discuss in this case study, like how we can proceed and prepare the case study or project with the help of ILE concepts. So I hope throughout this session we are going to explore many things, and by the end of this uh, session we are going to understand, or we will be able to create the separate case study by our own. Okay, so this is all about the theoretical things that we have just discussed regarding the case study. Now I will show you the demo of the application, and after demo we are going to discuss each and every step in detail, like what screen we are going to use and what all logic we have implemented for that particular functionality. So let's see the demo. Okay, so now before starting the development, let me show you a quick demo for the application that we have designed and that we are going to discuss in detail, like what all screens are there, what all logic we have implemented. So the application that we are going to discuss in throughout this session, we will have a quick demo for that. Okay, so these are the members that we have created, and these are the things that we are going to discuss now, like what all members are needed, what all logic are needed. Okay, so before that I will call this program directly and I will show you the demo. So I'm calling this. So once you call this application, it would look like this. So this is the login screen for the user, or from here a user can provide the credential, and on the basis of those credential we will populate the dashboard either for the employee or for the manager. Okay, so let's see how. So let's say if I want to log in as a employee, then I will put my credential like this. So this is my employee ID and I will put my password and hit enter. So once I hit enter, it will take me to this dashboard which is for employee dashboard. Okay, similarly now I will press F12 here. Similarly, if I want to log in as manager, then I can put my login ID as manager and then simply hit enter. So this time it will take me to manager dashboard. Okay, so this is how this portal will get populated. So let's see these portal in detail. Another thing we are checking here is if let's say if someone put the wrong data which is not there in the system. Let's say I'm just trying with test 123. Okay, and if I hit enter, so this is not in my system, so it will show invalid user, because we are validating this. If user ID and username and password is not correct, in this case it will show invalid user. Fine, so let's see the dashboard now. So I will log in with my employee credential and hitting enter. So you can see here the employee ID is auto populated, for which I have logged in. It shows the leave availed balance, on leave balance, and casual leave balance. Okay, and also it is providing me an option for inserting from date and to date, and also there is one radio button for the leave type selection. So let's see how it works. So let's say I want to apply leave for today, which is 25th of April. So let's see how we will do. Just simply write 2023 2023 4th and 25th. Now in to date also I will put the same thing, because I want to apply only for the one day. So I will put like this, and simply I will select my leave type, either CL or EL. So let's go with EL, and once I hit enter here, so you can see now earned leave is changed to 9, because I have applied a leave for one day, as well as the leave availed is also incremented by 1, because now I have already taken 11 leaves. So this is how it works. Similarly, if you want to apply for a specific date of range, so we can do that. So let me show you one thing. If we check the calendar, then let's say if user is applying leave from 21st to 24th. So you can see that 21st is on Friday, 22nd is on Saturday, and 23rd is on Sunday, and 24th is on Monday. So in this case, it should only apply leave for 2 days, which is 21st and 24th, because 22 and 23 lies on weekends. So these 2 dates should be avoided. So same thing we are handling here in the application also. So let me show you. I will write 2023 4th, and here I will put date as 21st 2023 4th and 24th. Okay, so we have applied from 21st to 24th, where there is 2 weekends. So let's see if it is excluding it or not. This time we will go with CL. So if I hit enter, so you can see now the CL balance is 8 because it exclude the weekends. Saturday, Sunday is excluded and it applies only leave for the 2 days. Same thing has been updated for leave avail. Okay. Another thing we are checking here is a proper validation. Let's say if I hit enter on blank date, then it will give me a message invalid from date. Similarly, if I put some random data here and hit enter, so it will show invalid from date. And if I want to put correct, let's say if I edit correct date and if I hit enter and I'm not passing the to date here. Okay. So that's in this case, it will show invalid to date. So if I put correct data here and I didn't pass the leave type, then in that case it will show please select leave type for applying the leave. Okay, so let's select it here, leave type as EL and hit enter. So now earned leave is applied. So all the required validation also we are taking care of here. We are doing proper validation and also we are excluding the leave. Fine. So let's say if I log in with my credential for manager. So in that case, here manager can put the employee ID for which he want to update the data. So let's say I want to update for Sharmit, and if I hit enter, so it will show me the proper detail of all the things or the recent updated data. So you can see right now it is showing earned leave balance as 8, casual leave balance as 8, leave availed as 14. So if I want to change this thing, so manager can change. So manager can make it as 10 again, and leave availed also he can make as 10 or as per the requirement. And after that you can see it is mentioned here, please press F6 to update data. So manager can simply press F6. So once he press F6, it is updated. So let's press F12, and if user login again, then he will see that yes, data is updated. Now earned leave is again 10, casual is again 10, and leaves availed is also 10. So this is the authority manager have. He can simply go and he can change the data as per the requirement. So suppose if employee has applied for wrong leave, in that case he can simply request to manager that he wants to revert the leave, and in that case he can simply update the employee record. Okay, so this is how the entire application look like. For now we are just taking care of these two screens. Mainly the three screens are there: login screen, and we have employee dashboard and manager dashboard. So this is a kind of small demo for the application. Now we will discuss each and every step in detail, like how we are designing the screen, what all logic we have implemented, how we are validating the things. Okay, so this thing we are going to discuss now. Okay, so now we will discuss the screen designing for the login screen. So before we discuss the same, let me show you the screen once again, and then we'll go for the screen designing part. So I'm calling this program. So you can see that this is the login screen that we are going to discuss, like how to design this screen. Okay, so let's go to the source. So first of all, we need one display file for designing the screen. So let me tell you the exact process through which you can create the display file. For that you need to press F6 from your keyboard, and here you can put any source name, means source member name, let's say test DSPF, and here you can pass the type, which is DSPF, and you can put any text as a description here, and then simply hit enter. So once you hit enter, it will open a blank file for you. Here you can simply go and write file for save and exit, and once you refresh your sub file, then you can see that yes, this object is added. Once it is added, then we will take option 17 here to design things, and after taking 17, it will show something like this, where you can take option 1 for adding the record. So let's say I want to add test record, then simply hit enter, and type should be as record only. By default it is on record, then simply hit enter. So it will open a blank screen for you. Okay, so here whatever the thing we are going to design, we will design it here. Okay, so now I'm pressing F12. So as of now we are not going to use this one, so I'm deleting this, and I will show you the exact display file that we are using here. So in the same manner, I have created this display file, which is lev mng leave management system display file. So always try to keep the d as a suffix for your member in case of display file, so that it will be easy to identify. Yes, d is for display file. The type is DSPF, and the description I keep here is like this: display file for leave management system. So in this manner, you can decide your member name, type, and text. Once it is added, then you can take option 17 here, and after taking 17 here on this option, you can select one for adding the record, and you can select any record name as we just saw on the previous display file. Okay, once record is added, like in the same manner I have added this login page. So once it is added, then you can take option 12 here to edit it. So just press 12 for designing the image, and then just type 12 and hit enter. So it will open something like this. Okay, so it would be a blank for you, but later you can design the things that you can see right now. So I will tell you how to design this. So for that, we will firstly discuss about the text, like how we can write text on the screen, how we can show label or text on the user screen. Okay, so for that you need to add text on the screen. So for adding the text, you need to do just start your quote, whatever the thing you want to print, keep inside the quote, and then simply hit enter. So by doing this, you will be able to show this text to user. Fine. Now one more thing, and very important thing, like whenever you are designing a screen, do not press a backspace or delete key from your keyboard. Why? Because it will totally disturb your screen, and your screen will be means it will completely destroyed. Okay, so it would be always recommend do not press backspace or delete key. Okay, fine. Now there is one question, like if we are not supposed to write delete, use delete key or backspace key, then how we will delete it? So to delete it, what you need to do, you need to place your cursor on placeholder location. So what is placeholder location? It's just one place before your actual text. So I will go here. So whenever I will say a placeholder location, so this is the position for that particular field. Okay, here you can write D and simply hit enter. So it will delete the text for you. So let's see other things. Now suppose you can see that these texts have some colors. How to set these colors? So for setting these colors, what you need to do, you can, there are two ways. I will show you the first one, which is using asterisk. So on placeholder, just write asterisk and hit enter. So it will open this menu for you, and here you can select option Y for attributes, and just go for the means this is for attributes. For colors, you can go and take option Y on colors, and here you can select any color. So let's say I want to select the red color, so I will go with one on red and then simply hit enter. So it will change the color to red. So this is the one way. Now I will show you the another way. So let me remove the color again so that I can show you the another way. So this, for this way, or this is a shortcut, but it will only be applicable if there is no color already set to a text. Okay, so right now there is no color already set to it. So what we will do, we will use shortcut. So for that you need to place your cursor on placeholder location. Here you can write C. C is for change or color, and then by overlapping the first character of your text with the first letter of your color. Let's say I want to go with yellow. So what I will do, I will keep Y here and then simply hit enter. So it will change the color to yellow. Okay, so this is how this short trick works. If you want to go for red, then put your placeholder on cursor on placeholder location, write C and overlap your first character with the R for red and then hit enter. So it will change the color to red. So this is all about the coloring. Now we will see how we can move the text. So let's say if I have written some text over here, and if I hit enter, now if I want to move this text from this position to towards the right side, so what I will do, I will use angular bracket. So just use these bracket and then simply hit enter. So it will move your text to right hand side. In the same manner, if you want to go to left, you can use left and angular brackets and then hit enter. So it will move your text to left hand side. So this is how it works. Okay, now if you want to move this text from one position to another, let's say I want to move it from here to here. So what you need to do, you can put your hyphen on the placeholder location, then put equal wherever you want to move it, and then hit enter, so it will be moved like this. Okay, in same manner, if you want to copy the same thing, so just put hyphen, and instead of single equal you can use double equals to, and then hit enter, so it will move, it will copy the things. Okay, with single equal it will move the thing, and with double equal it will copy the thing. So this is all about text. So with this approach, I designed this text, texture math, leave management system, date, colon, time, user, program, username, and password. So this is all about text. Now we will see the fields, how to define fields. So for defining the field, what you can do, let me tell you firstly for the strings. Okay, so for input string, you can write plus I is for input, select the length as you want, so I pass it as 5, then hit enter. So this is the input field. Similarly for output, you can use O plus O 5, hit enter. So this is output field, plus, and here you can write plus B is for both mode, so you can pass length and then hit enter. So this is the both mode. Okay, so this is how it works. So this is all, these are the all string related to, these are the all fields related to string. Once fields is added, then you can then you should give some name to it, so that we will be able to access these fields inside the program. So for that, you need to write question mark on the placeholder location in front of field, then hit enter, and here you can assign your name. So let's say if I want to assign name as S1 name, so I will keep this S1 as a prefix for each field, so that it will indicate yes, this field is coming from screen 1. So it is up to you, you can select any prefix, but it is always recommended to keep the field name with prefix. So it is set. In the same manner, you can decide the name for other fields also if you are not assigning, otherwise you will not be able to access the field, because some name is required for the field. Okay, so this is all about input, output, and both for string. In input field, user will be only allowed to insert the data. In output, user will only able to show the data, means to see the data, and in both mode he can perform both the things, input and output. So this is all about string. Now I will show you about numeric fields. So for that, you need to write plus, 3 is for input, 6 is for output, and 9 is for both. So same way you can design a numeric field as well. 3 input, and for output we will go with 6 length. So this is output, and for both you can write plus 9 and length. So this is for both. Okay, in same manner we will assign the name also. Just put question mark, and whatever the thing you want to assign, just give the name here. Okay, so this is how it works. Let me delete these fields because we are not going to use these ones. So now we will discuss about this header thing. So as I already explained you how to design text, so in same manner I designed this text and this text, and how these values are coming. This is also normal text, normal text. This is coming from function. So these three value, date, time, and user, is coming from function. So for this we are not supposed to write any logic for it, these three field. It will directly coming with the help of system values. So I'm writing start date. So this is a function through which we can add date. Similarly, you can write start time for time. Similarly, you can go for user, so it will show user. Okay, so this is how it works, and I already told you how to move the fields. So if you want to move, you can use angular bracket to move the fields. Okay, so likewise you can adjust your things. And so for these three functions, we are not supposed to fill any data in it, and to assign any name to it. It will auto populate it by the system itself. Fine. Now this is the another field, which is output field. So you can see the name. I have assigned some name to it, S1 prog name. So it will indicate that it is coming from screen 1, and the name of the field is S1 prog name. So whenever I want to access this field in program, I can use this name. So this is all about header. Now we will see how this line is coming. So to design this line, what you can do, you can start your quote, put some extra spaces, close the quote, and hit enter. Now press asterisk and hit enter. Go for display attribute, and here you can select reverse image for y with y, and then hit enter. So it will show like this. Okay, so this is just for the UI purpose. I added these two lines so that it will look good. And if you want to copy this thing, you just place hyphen and double equal, so it will paste it here. Okay, so this is how I added the these two lines. Now this is the normal text, this is the normal text, this is the field. So this field name is s1 username. In same manner I defined this field. I just show you all the ways to define an input string. Now there is one more field here which is hidden. So how to make field hidden? Let me show you this first. So let's say if I have added one field as input mode for of length 5. Now I want to make it hidden or non-displayed. So you can put asterisk on placeholder, go for display attribute, select for ND, which is non-display, put Y and hit enter. So it will be hidden. Okay, so this is how I make password field hidden. And if you remember the position, then go for placeholder, location, put asterisk, it will be shown again. Okay, and so this is how it will work. It will be non-display field, but it has the existence in the program. So in same manner, I know that I have declared field here, so I will place my cursor here and put asterisk, and you can see that here I am also using non-display. Okay, so this is how it works. And if you want to check the name, so the name of this field is s1 password. Fine. Now the another field we are using here is message field. So I just defined one output field of length I guess 20, and the name of the field is s1 err message. So this is how we will keep the output field, and I change the color to red. Here we will populate only the error messages. That's why I made the color as red. And this is the normal line. I just show you how to do this. And at the bottom we are using F3. This is the label. So for label you can use F3 and equal test, something like this. Just close the quote and change the color by CB. So this is a short way, but if you have already selected any color, then in that case you need to use asterisk method. So I'm deleting it. So in same manner I just declared this F3. So now we are done with this screen designing. So press F12, and then we need to pass one indicator because we show that user that F3 is for exit. So for that we need to assign indicator. So take option 8 here, go for indicator, and just use the indicator like this, CF0303 exit. Okay, so this thing we will go and use inside the program. So once designing is complete, then simply hit enter 2 times to save the DDS and compile your display file by 14. Once your display file is compiled, then you are good to write your logic for accessing that display file in your program to populate the data, to access the data. Okay, so it is always needed to compile your program just after compiling the display file. If you are doing any changes in display file, then you need to compile your program as well. So right now I'm compiling this program, which is CL program, where I'm compiling all those required sources. That I will show you like why I have created this CL program later. But for now I'm just compiling it so that it will work properly. So once it is done, you can call this and it will show you a screen like this. Okay, so this is all about the login screen. So now we are okay with the screen designing. Now we will see how we are validating the things, how we can write the logic for it, and what PF we are using, and how we are verifying from the PF data, like whether the user is valid or not, and if it is valid, then which type of dashboard we should show to him. So these all things we will discuss now. So we for this portion we just discussed and focused on the screen designing for login screen. Okay, so now we will discuss about the physical file login. So this is the PF that I have created, and then this PF we are going to utilize for this application and for the validation purpose. So let me show you how we can create the PF and what all structure we have defined, like how is the DDS here for this login file. So to create the PF or to add the member for PF, what you can do, you can press F6 from your keyboard, and here you can pass the name of the source member which you want to give. For example, I keep it as test pf, and here in type you can pass as pf. Here you can put any kind of a description for your source member and then simply hit enter. So once you hit enter, it will open this blank file for you where you can write all the DDS for your physical file. And to write the DDS, you can press F4 on the field. So once you press F4, it will prompt this kind of fields where you can pass the fields as per the requirement. So this thing we will see in the actual PF that we have already designed. So for now, I'm just doing file in order to save and exit. And if I go down, then you can see that yes, PF is there. So for now I'm just deleting it because we are not going to use this one. We will use the one which we have already created with the name of login. So let's see. So now I'm taking option 2. So in same manner I created this member with login name, type PF, and the text is as physical file login details for login details. So let me show you the exact details for this file. So you can see that firstly we are declaring the record format name. So how to do this? First, you can just press F4 and there you can type in name type, you can pass R, where R is indicating the record format. And then we will decide the record format name. So usually what I do, if my PF name is login, then I keep R as a suffix so that it will indicate that this is my record format name. Okay, and this record format name we are going to use inside the program in order to write data to the file, in order to update the data. So there for all file related operation we will use this record format name. Okay, fine. Now hit enter. And one more thing, like whenever you want to see the complete description of the values, like if you are not aware what values we are supposed to pass here, in that case you can simply place your cursor here and then press F1. So once you press F1, it will show you all the detail, like why we need to pass R, why we need to pass K. So all kind of details for that particular thing. Let's say if I want to check what all data types are available, so I can simply press F1 here. It will show me the list of data type that are available for this. Okay, so now I'm hitting enter. So on second line, what we are doing, we are declaring the field. So if at the time of declaring the field, we are not supposed to pass the name type, because in this case you can directly start the name, and it is a kind of coding standard, like whenever you are creating a PF, so it is always recommended to keep some prefix so that it will indicate yes, this particular field is coming from that file. Okay, so in same manner I just declare here L underscore, so it will indicate, this prefix will indicate that this is a login file field, and after underscore I am just using the name as username, and then we are passing the length. And whenever you are passing any numeric fields here, then make sure that you are assigning it from the right hand side. And then I'm passing the data type as A, which is for alphanumeric, and then we are using one function call HDG. Call HDG means column heading. So this heading will be populated on the top of the data when we are populating the data. Okay, then simply hit enter. Likewise, I declare another field which is L underscore password. Length is 8, and data type this time I'm using as S. So if you are using S, means in this case we need to pass decimal position as well. So I'm just passing here 0, but all the numeric values are from right hand side. And if you want to check like what data type is this S, so what you can do, you can simply place your cursor here, then press F1, and here you can see that S is here to denote zone decimal data. So this is how we select the data type for the fields. Now hitting enter, and this is another field, L underscore user type. Length is 1, data type is A, and column heading here I'm using is user type. Then hit enter, and this time I'm declaring one key field in this file, so that whenever I'm trying to retrieve the data from it, then it will be fetched on the basis of key field. So that's why we make this L underscore username as a key field. So for making key field, you just simply need to write K in the name type, and it will consider it as a key field. So this is the DDS about this file, and if you're not aware like all the basic things about the PF, then there's a separate session for the same. You can just go through it. Okay, but for now this is the PF that we are going to use for our application. Now I'm doing file to save and exit. Once your DDS is done, means you are done with the DDS designing, then you can simply compile your object in order to create the PF. Okay, right now I am not compiling it because actually I have stored some data in it, so in case if I compile it, it will delete those data. Okay, so although there is another way through which we can keep the data as well as we can compile the PF, but as of now there is no need, because for compilation you can simply go with 14 and you can compile it. Okay, but make sure that if there is any data, then do not compile it, otherwise you will lose all your data. Fine. So once PF is ready, then you can use any command like upddta in order to write data to it. You can use SQL queries in order to write data into it. Okay, so as I told you that I have stored some data, so let me show you that data to you. So for that I'm using run query rq and then hit enter again, and here you can see it contains three records. First one is with the name username as Sharmit, password is 123, user type is E. So this is the user type on the basis of which we will decide which dashboard we are supposed to show to that user. If it is E, then we will show the employer dashboard. If it is M, then we will show the manager dashboard. And if it is I, then we will simply leave this. Means we will just give error message to the user that it is a invalid user. Okay, so this is how we do validation on the basis of these fields. Now simply hit enter. So this is all about the PF that we have designed. So once your PF is ready and you have data in it, then you can write a logic, and after writing a logic you can simply call your program, and then it will work accordingly as per the logic that we have written. So as you can see right now, if I hit enter, then it will show invalid user because it goes into the invalid state, and if I pass the correct user ID, then it will simply show me that dashboard. So if I'm passing my employee ID as Sharmit and 123, then it is showing me the employee dashboard, and if I pass it as tech and 123, then it will show me the manager dashboard. So this is how it works. Okay, so we just discuss about the PF that we are using. Now we will discuss about the logic that we are writing for performing all this validation kind of stuff. Okay, so now we will see the logic for the leave mngcsr program. So I have added this program using F6. So if you are not sure how to add this, you can press F6, and from here you can select your source member name, type and text. Okay, once you hit enter on that, then it will open a source blank file for you. There you can write a code. So let me show you the code that we have written already, taking the program in edit mode. Here this time I'm using the tagging. So tagging is just mainly for indicating all those lines which are correlated. For say like if I can show you the all the code which is related to TS01 tag. Okay, so this tag will only show those lines which I have added with this tag TS01 and all the changes which is related to TS01. And at the top we have mentioned like this TS01 tag will represent the login dashboard selection logic. Okay, likewise we have added other two tag for TS02 and TS03. So now we will discuss about the TS01 changes only, and then step by step we will go further. Okay, so first change we made for TS01 is we have added the control options. So to add the control option, you can write ctl-opt option star no debug and star src stmt. If I go forward from here, means this line number 17 is mainly used to set the control options. Here we are setting two control options, no debug and src stmt. So no debug will instruct the compiler that whenever we are debugging the code, at that time it would not go and show all input output operation again and again. Okay, so that's why we use this no debug IO. And src stmt is to is used let's say if there is any error in our code and we are looking for the spool file, then it will show the exact statement where the error occur. So that's why we use this src-stmt. Now if I go forward, here we are declaring the file. So my file name is leave mngsysd. So just write dcl-f leave mngsysd. Work stn is keyword for the display file, and here we are using one data structure array. Sorry, we are using indicator data structure, which is pgm ind. Okay, so ind ds pgm ind. Okay, if I go forward, then next change, this line we have added for ts02 tag. Okay, so the moment when when we will discuss the ts02 related changes, then we will discuss this. For now we are just focusing on ts01 tags. So after that we are declaring few variables like w underscore user type, w underscore s1 username, password. Okay, and we know that how to declare variable. Just simply write dcl as variable name and then type of the variable. Then next thing we are doing here is we are declaring the prototype. This prototype we are declaring because we are going to use the procedure for this application. So we have added one procedure for check user type. So just write dcl-pr check user type character 1. So this character 1 will represent like this procedure will return one value. Okay, then we are declaring the input parameters, which is s1 username of char 8, s1 password of zone date. So this procedure will accept two parameters and return one value. So this is the procedure declaration. Now next thing is a data structure declaration. So as I told you that we are going to use indicated data structure. So this data structure we are using here dclds pgm ind exit. So we have mentioned the exit indicator like when with position 03. So whenever user press F3, it will turn on this indicator. So instead of using star in03 in a program, we can directly use this name exit. Likewise for cancel, we for star in012 we can use cancel. Okay, so if I go forward, so these are some indicators that we have set. After that we are writing the main logic. So in main logic what we are doing, we are just checking do while exit is off. So here you can see that I'm not using star in03. Instead of that I'm using exit because we are using indicated data structure. Okay, so till it is off we are populating the program name and then we are showing the screen. So we are doing exfmt on login page. So this is my login page record format, and then we are after that we are assigning values like s1 username to w underscore s1 username, s1 password to w underscore s1 password. It means the value that user is providing on the screen, we are moving it into one work variable, and then these work variable we are passing to the procedure. So if I go forward, you can see that on line number 68 we are calling one procedure check user type with two parameters s1 username and s1 password. Then after in this procedure we will process the all the things regarding the login process, and then it will return one user type, and on the basis of that user type we will process the further code. Okay, so till here we have made the changes for ts01, and remaining code I will let you know like when we start with ts02 tag. But for now you can create a program till here, select, and inside select we are just doing, we are checking when user type is m, then we are showing this procedure. This thing is related to ts03, and other, if user type is not e not m, then we are populating one message invalid user, and then doing end sl, end do, and inlr on. So this is a quite simple logic where we are just using like one procedure to process the login options. Okay, so this is regarding the logic and tagging. Now we will discuss the procedure that we are calling from this program check user, and we'll discuss the logic for that. Okay, so now we will discuss about the procedure that we were using in leave mng csr program. So let me show you that again, and then we will discuss in detail like what all thing we are implementing in this procedure. So I'm talking about this. If I search for ts01, then there was one procedure that we were calling like this dcl pr. So this is the pr for that procedure check user type, and if I go ahead, then you can see that we are using this procedure here check user type. So what this procedure is doing, it is taking two input parameters, and then after processing it inside this procedure, it will return the value as a user type, and then on the basis of that value we will process further. So let's see what we are doing in this inside this procedure. So let me save this again and open this procedure. So this is the module that we are using for this purpose, which is check user. I'm opening it, and here if I press shift F7, because we are writing the code in fully free format, and the tag is here is 01 ts01. All right. So first of all, what we are doing here, we are declaring one physical file. So to declare the physical file, we are using dclf, then the file name is login, and keyword is disk, user is star input, and it is a keyed file. After that, what we are doing, we are declaring the procedure. So you can consider procedure as a separate program, because it contains all the kind of definitions and everything inside the same procedure. So this is the procedure that we are going to export. So make sure that whenever you are exporting any procedure, then the name should not match with the source name. So source name is a check user, but the procedure that we are exporting from here is check user type. So that's why I keep these two different, otherwise it will give error. So from here we are starting the procedure dcl proc, and the name of the procedure is check user type, and we are exporting it. Now after that, what we are doing, we are declaring the PI. What is PI? A procedure interface. So it will tell the procedure like what all input it will take, and what output, what type of output it will return. Okay, so this is the PI for this. Like same thing you also declared in the program where you are using this procedure with PR name. So for that you can write DCL PI and start with DCL PI. DCL PI, after that you can write check user type, and it is returning the value char1. So whatever the value you are mentioning here is the value which this procedure will return. And inside this we are writing two parameters that it will accept, which is s1 username of character 8 and s1 password of zone decimal. Okay, so this is all about PI. Now below to that, what we are doing, we are declaring the variable. So variable name is w underscore user type. It is of type character. If I go down, then this is the main logic. So what we are doing in main logic, we are doing chain on login file with the help of s1 username field. Okay, so it will check if this record is found, then we are checking few condition here using select when. So you can see that firstly with the condition what we are searching, verifying first is when percent found login, it means record found. S1 and S1 password is equals to L password. So what is S1 password? S1 password is coming from the main program, and in main program it is, we are retrieving this from the screen. So what is happening, like from screen the main program will access this value, and then it will send it to this procedure. Then we will compare it with the file password, because we just do chain. If record found and password is also matched with that particular record, after that we are checking third condition, which is user type. If user type is E, then we are setting this work variable as w underscore user type E. It means this is an employee. If record is found, password is matched, and user type is M, then we will set it as a M. M is for manager. Otherwise, what we are doing, we are just setting it as a I, which is invalid. Okay, so then we are doing end SL, after end SL we are doing return. We are returning this value w underscore user type. So this value we will use in program for checking with for identifying which portal we need to show to that user. Okay, accordingly we will decide. And then we are doing star INLR on, because this, you know, like this is the separate program. You can consider it as a separate program, so it is mandatory to keep this INLR on here. And then we are doing end proc. So this is a quite simple procedure we have written here. What we just did, we declare the file, we start the procedure, we export it, make sure that this procedure name should not be the match with the source name. Then we are declaring PI. Same kind of PI you can declare in procedure also with PR name. Okay, So this is all about this procedure. After procedure is created, you can compile this, you can create the module using 15 option and then hit enter. So it now the module is created. So as of now we have two modules, right? This module, so both are modules. So once modules are created, then we will use crt pgm command to create the program. So for now what we are doing, like I have created one CL program, and this program will, let me relog in it. Yeah, so the CL program is handling all of these things for me. You can see that we are using crt pgm module command for compiling it with source. Then another one is for check user module. Another one is for show DSP module. So as of now, what all modules I have created, I am compiling it with source, and then I am creating I am doing the crt pgm command for creating the main program name as main pgm, and then we are calling it. Okay, so instead of doing it again and again, what I did, I just created one utility kind of thing which is compiler, so it will take care of all this thing and it will compile for me. So like maybe right now you are not aware like what all this show mnj dsp, so the things we will be clear by the time when we proceed for further modules. And at the end we will also discuss a normal way, like without using cl, how we are compiling it and how we are creating the program. This thing we will also discuss, but for now what I am doing, I'm just compiling my this compiler program and calling it, so it will compile all the program and it with source, and it will open it here. Same thing I have also created for debug purpose, like here it will set the program to debug also, but that we will discuss later. So what we just discussed here, like we discuss about the procedure that we are using. Let me show you again. The tag is ts01. Yeah, so this is the prototype declaration for that procedure that we just discussed, and this procedure is accepting two parameters and sending the output parameter. So with this here you can see that we are calling the same procedure with two input parameters, and then it is returning the value after processing it, and as per that value we will proceed further. So I hope this is clear to you, like how to create that procedure and how to create module for that. And after creating module we can use crt pgm command to create the command. At the end of this application we will discuss the entire process again, like how we can compile all the modules, how we can use crt pgm command. But for now you can understand like this cl program is helping me to create all this crt pgm again and again. Okay, so now we will discuss the further things. Okay, so now we will discuss the screen designing for the employee dashboard. Okay, so before that I will show you the screen that we are going to discuss, and then we'll see the designing part. So I'm calling this program, and here I will put my employee ID and password. So this is the screen. So this is screen designing we will see now, and after that we will see the logic, like how it is populating the data, from which file it is coming on, and how we are processing the leave when we user provide the date, range and type of the leave, then how it is processing. Fine, so let's discuss the screen designing. So firstly I will take option 17 on my display file, where we have already added one record for the employee page that we have already discussed. Now today we are going to discuss about this EMP dashboard. So firstly you can add this one, take option 1, then add the record name, and once a record is added for the record type, then you will see one blank screen, and on that blank screen you can design the screen like this. So just taking option 12 here. So this is how the screen designing look like. So you can divide this entire screen into three parts. First is the header portion, so this is the header portion you can assume. Then the main screen or actual data, and then the footer portion. So one by one we will discuss all of these things. So you can see that firstly we are showing some username, program name, date, time related values. So the thing, and then in middle this is the normal text, texture, leave management system, and employee dashboard. So how to add text? So to add the text you can use simple single quote, then write your text whatever you want to do, and then simply hit enter. So this is added. Now if you want to shift it towards right hand side, just use angular right bracket, and if you want to shift it to left hand side, then use left angular bracket. If you want to move it, then use hyphen, and wherever you want to move it you can just directly go and press equals to, and then it will be moved there. Okay, so this is how we can manage the text thing or the verbiage thing. So this is how I decided these all text. And if you want to change the color, just go and put asterisk on the text, then go for the colors, and in colors you can select any color which you want to show. Let's say I want to go with red. I will take one here, and it is edit. Make sure that on this screen do not press backspace and delete key, otherwise your screen will get disturbed. So for deletion, what you can do, you can use D as on a placeholder location, and then simply hit enter, so it will delete the text. Fine. So this is how in same manner we have added these three text, which is texture myth, leave management system, and employee dashboard. So likewise we have decided this user and program, date and time. Now how these values are coming? So the username, date and time is coming from the function itself. So just write date for date, star time for time, and star user for username. Okay, so for these three fields we don't need to populate data from the program. It will be directly populated from the system values. Now another field is output field. So like we have already discussed how many types of fields we have and how we can declare it, right? So in same manner we have declared this output field. If I press question mark here, then this is the name that we have assigned to this field, which is S1 program name. Fine. Now we will see how this line is coming. So for adding this kind of line, you can use single quote, then press as many as space you want to keep in line, then close this quote, and then press asterisk. Here go for the colors, then select any color. Sorry, not color, we have to go for the display attribute, and from here you can select the reverse image. Okay, so in front of RI reverse image, just put Y and then hit enter. So this is how this line look like. Okay, so this is just for the UI purpose, so I have added this. In the same manner you can add this line, and then we have the main screen. So in main screen what we are doing, we are just defining one heading. So what I did, I just start my quote from here, then put these number of hyphens, then the text is employee detail, and then again hyphens, and close the quotes. Okay, so this is how this heading comes. Now this is the normal text, employee ID. This is output field, leaves availed output field. Then we have earned leave, and this is the earned leave output field, and casual leave output field. And this is the heading. In same manner we have keep here inside the quote. This entire line is just a normal text, and then this is the third text. Okay, third text heading, and this is from date, and this field is both mode. So from here user can insert the date as well as he can see the date populated on that field, right? And this is the to date. This portion is containing the radio button. Okay, so this portion you can leave for now. I will tell you how to add this in screen, but for now you can understand till here. Like you just keep this heading and leave this space as it is. Just remember the position, like I will let you know like how these position we will decide when we are, because this thing we will directly add in the source of the display file, not from here. Okay, so as usual we have assigned some name to these fields. So if I put question mark here, this is E1 employee ID, then we have another field as E1 leave avail, then we have earned leave, E1 EL balance, and this is E1 CL balance, and other two field is for date range. So we have kept it as E1 from date and E1 to date. Okay, now this is the radio button thing that we will see how we can directly add this thing into the source of the display file. Now the another line is same as we did here. In same manner you can keep the line here also with reverse image. And another thing is the output field. So we have assigned name as S1 error message. This field we will use to populate the error messages. Then F3 and F12 is, this is a normal text, just write F3 and change the color. So for changing the color, either you can go with that asterisk approach. Okay, from here you can just directly go and select the color, but if you haven't selected any color previously, then you can use shortcut trick. Just write C and overlap the first letter of the text with the color first letter like CB, so it will change to blue. This is how we can keep this information. F3 equals to exit and F12 equals to cancel. Fine, so this is all about this screen designing. You can see that all the fields are output mode, only these three fields are in input mode, both mode. Okay, so let's go back, and now it's time to assign the indicator. So I'm taking Y here on indicator keywords. So first indicator is CF03, which is for exit, and then we have second indicator for CF12, which is for cancel. Fine, so this is done. Now simply go and compile your display file. After compiling display file, you can compile your program. So I'm compiling my CL program that I'm using, and inside the CL program I'm compiling my actual program, which is leave management sysr. Okay, so I'm calling this, and I will put my customer ID, employee ID. Let me insert it again. Yeah, so this is the employee dashboard screen that we just saw. Now you can see that here it is coming as a radio button, but in display file I told you that we will leave it as it is blank. Okay, so in display file we designed till here. Now just identify the position, like where you want to show this radio button. So let's say if I want to keep my radio button here at this position, at my cursor position, so what I will do, I will check my position, which is 1862. Okay, 1862. Now we will add it inside the display file source. So just directly go in display file source, search for choice, because I have already added, so I will show you that. So this is the field. So what you need to do, wherever in which format you want it, you can directly go and insert A, then press F4, and the function we are using here is SNG-CHC-FLD, which is single choice field. And inside that I am passing num row as 1, so it will indicate that all the data should be in the one row. Another thing we are passing here is the name. So name of the field is E1 SEL LEV, which is E1 select leave. Length is 2, data type is Y, decimal position is 0, use is both, line is 1962. So as per the current designing of the radio button, our radio button will be shown on 1962 position. So if I take my cursor at that position, so you will get to know, like approximately here, if we go and check the position, so it will come here. Okay, in the display file it is different. So we are populating the radio button on 1962 position. Then simply hit enter. Now it's time to define this choice. So just use the function choice function. Inside that I'm using first. For first choice we are using EL, so angular bracket and then EL. For second choice, same manner you can keep the second option as CL, and then it is fine. Okay, so we have added it. Now it's simply you can compile it. So what we have added for radio button, these 3 lines only. Okay, so make sure that you keep the correct position where you want to show the that radio button, and this is the field that we are going to use for accessing the data of this field. Fine, so let's compile the source, compile your program again, and my program is already compiling in this CL program. That at the last we will see what we are doing here. Now I will log in it again. So here it is coming. Okay, because right now you can see my cursor is at 2062. So if I do page up, then this position is 1962. So this is how we can use radio button in screen. So we just discussed how we are designing this employee dashboard screen. Okay, now we will discuss like how we can populate data to this screen, what process we are using for adding the leave or for deducting the leave for a particular employee. Okay, so yeah. Okay, so far we have discussed how to design the employee dashboard screen. Now, before we discuss the program logic for the same, let me show you one physical file structure that we are going to utilize in our logic. So let me show you that. So we have created one physical file with the name. Let me go to session A. Yeah. So this is my file emp lev dtl, which represent employee leave detail file. So this physical file will hold the data for the employee and its leave details. So let's see how to design this. So firstly, I'm taking edit mode, this file in edit mode. Now you can see that firstly I'm declaring the record format. So just press F4 from your keyboard and then pass the record format name. I'm using R as a suffix for my record format. So my file name is emp.lev.dtl and the suffix is R. Here the name type is R, which represent record format name. Below to this, if you press F4 on the second field, then it would come like this. And here we are assigning the first field name as E underscore EMP Length is 8, data type is A, column heading is employee ID. Hitting enter. This is the second field, which is E underscore leave avail. Length is 8, data type is S, decimal position 0, and column heading is leaves availed. If I do enter again, this is the third field, which is E underscore EL balance. Length is 4, data type is S, which represent the numeric value. Decimal position is 0, column heading is EL balance. Similarly, we have another field for CL balance, which is E underscore CL balance. Length is 4, data type is S, decimal position is 0, and column heading as CL balance. Make sure that whenever you are assigning numeric value, assign it from the right hand side, otherwise it will give error. Then simply hit enter, and now this is the key field that we are going to use, which is E underscore EMP ID, and put the K in this name type. Okay, so if you press F1 here, you can see that blank is for the field name declaration, R is for record format name declaration, and K is for key field declaration. So this is how we can utilize this prompt option for declaring the fields in the physical file. Here you can observe like we are using E underscore as a prefix for this file. So whenever we are going to use these fields inside a program, it will indicate yes, these fields are coming from the emp leave detail file. Although you can do this inside the program also, but for now we are just keeping it here in the PF itself. So once you design this physical file, then simply go and compile your physical file. Right now I am not compiling, but when you created it from scratch, you can compile it using 14. I'm not compiling because I have already stored some data in it, so I don't want to lose that data, so I'm not compiling it. Let me show you the data. So to show the data, I'm using rq run query, then hit enter again. You can see that this file contains 2 records, which is for employee leave details. Okay, employee ID, leave availed, EL balance, CL balance. Okay, and if you want to insert data in your physical file, you can use upd dta command, which for F4 for emp leave dtl library sharmit1. Hit enter. Now if you press F10, it will open this fields where you can pass, let's say I want to insert for ABC 50 50 50 and hit enter again. So this record is added. Now press enter, and if I do run query again, then it will show that now we have 3 records in the file. Last entry is for ABC. Yes. Okay, so this is the structure. We just discussed the structure of the physical file that we are going to utilize in our logic, and also we see how what all data we have stored in it and how we can insert a new data to this file. Now we will discuss the logic of the employee dashboard screen. Okay, so now we will discuss the logic for the employee dashboard. But before that, I will quickly show you the process that actually we can perform with the help of employee dashboard screen. So for that, I'm calling this program directly, and now I will log in with my user ID and password for employee. So this screen would come like this. Okay. Now here you can see that few information is getting populated here on the basis of my ID, which is employee ID, leave availed, earned leave, casual leave, and these are the three mandatory field for the employee to key in at the time of applying leave from this screen. Okay, and proper validation is also implemented here. So let's say if I enter on a blank without inserting any values, so what it will do, it will highlight the particular field where the data is not there, so it is showing invalid from date. So now I will put a valid date here. Okay, but what we are doing here, like actually when we provide the from date and to date, and if that date range contains weekends, then this application will it will remove those weekends. For example, like if you can see, I'm applying the leave from 19th of May 2023 to 22 May of 2023. So in between these range, you can see that 20 and 21st is on Saturday and Sunday. So these 2 days should be excluded when applying the leave, because these are the off day, right? These are not the working day. So this application will do this on the back end. It will exclude these 2 days while applying the leave. So let's see the example for the same. So I'm applying the leave from 19 2023 till, and if I hit enter on blank, then you can see now it is highlighting the field to date because there is no date. So I'm applying the date here to 5/22. So from date range we can see that it is we have provided 4 days date range, right? From 19, 19, 20, 21, 22. But 2 days comes on Saturday and Sunday. So this application will exclude those days and apply the leaves only for the 2 days. Now if I hit enter on a blank without selecting any leave type, so it will give me an error. Please select the leave type. So this is also mandatory. So now I will select leave type as EL. Okay. So once I hit enter, it should apply the leave, and also it should exclude the weekends. So if I hit enter, so you can see now the earned leave balance is 6, which is reduced by 2, because from the date range 2 days were related to the working days and 2 are lying on the weekends. So that's why it apply only for 2 day leave, and also it updates the leave availed. So now leave availed is showing as 16. So this is how this screen will work. So from this screen, employee can insert the date range as well as the leave type, and on the basis of date range and leave type it will apply the leave. And if the date occur on the weekend, then in that case it will exclude those date and only apply for leave for the working days. Okay, so this is all about the process that we can implement from this. Now we will discuss the logic. Okay, so far we have discussed how to design employee dashboard screen and how the screen is processing, means whenever we are user try to apply leave from that screen, then how it do the validation and how the leaves got applied. Okay, now we will discuss the logic directly. So I'm taking the program leave mngcsr into edit mode, and here you can see that we have already written the code, and the code which is related to the employee dashboard processing is having the tag ts02. So now we will see all the code which is related to ts02, because previous tag we have already covered. So I will search it. So this is the first change that we have implemented for ts02, which we have, where we have declared the file emp leave detail disk emp leave detail file and the keyword for the file is disk. Sorry, for declaring the physical file we use the keyword disk, and user is star input, star output, and star update. This is a keyed file, so we mentioned the keyword here, keyed. So this is the file declaration that we need for this employee dashboard processing. Now I will search for further lines. So from line number 33 to line number 41, you can see that we have declared few variables related to tag TS02, which are w underscore date validation, w underscore number of days, w underscore leave date, w underscore date to, leave date num, and day of week and leave skip. So these are the variable that we are using for the tag TS02. If I do F4 again, then if you remember last time we were using the program uh, indicator, PGM indicator data structure, which is for the indicator data structure array, indicator data structure. So here we have added three more indicators, which is from date RIPC, to date RIPC, and update indicator. Okay, so these are the changes that we have implemented for this data structure. Now I will go forward and look for other lines of changes. So yeah, from here till here we have already seen like main logic. We were printing the screen, then we started the select, and after select we are going to start now. So here you can see that firstly we are checking if when the user type is E, it means it is an employee. Then what we are doing, we are clearing and resetting the all required field, which are S1 error message, from date RIPC, to date RIPC, so that whenever the user comes for the very first time, there should not be any error, indicator on. So that's why we are resetting it. Now below to that, what we are doing, we are running one loop till the IN03 or exit is off. So you can see that exit indicator is off. Now we are running one procedure. So let's see what we are doing here in this procedure. If I search, so this procedure is used to load the employee data. So let's see how we are loading the data. So firstly we are doing the chain operation with no lock. So if there is any condition in which we are getting lock on the file, so just to avoid such condition, we are using chain with no lock. Then this is the my field name, which is coming from the screen, S1 username, and we are doing chain with this username on file emp leave detail. If record found, that what we are doing, we are fetching the data from file fields. So all the fields which are initiated with E underscore are the file fields. So we are populating these fields to the screen variable. So even the fields which are prefixed with E1 is the screen variable. So, okay, so in this procedure mainly we are populating the data from file field to screen field, which is E1, EL balance, E1, CL balance, and then endif and end procedure. So this is all about this procedure. Now the next thing what we are doing here, we are populating the program name, which is a hard-coded value lev mng into the program name field S1 proc name. Okay, and then we are doing the exfmt on the emp dashboard. So this line will show the screen on the screen for the user. Then we are resetting the error message and checking for the cancel condition. If user press cancel, means if user press F12 function key, then what we are doing, we are resetting the cancel button, and then we are simply leaving the loop. So this is for checking the leave condition. Below to that, we are running one more procedure, which is validate date. Okay, so let's see what we are doing. So mainly this is the only main procedure where all the processing is completed. This is not only validating the things, but also calculating the required values for the process. So let's see this procedure. So this procedure, what we are doing here, firstly we are clearing the field w underscore date validation. Then we are using testde built-in testde opcode to validate the date. So here test parenthesis de, which represent date and error. We are checking the date with ISO format on field even from date. If error occur, then we are setting the date validation flag as F, which will indicate that error is in the from date field. Okay. Similarly, we are checking for the to date. So same opcode I'm using here, test de checking with the ISO date format. If error occur and date validation is blank, then only we are setting this flag as T. Why? Because if previous field is also having error, then we are not going to turn on this indicator. Okay, otherwise we will turn on this one. So we are checking if percent error occur and date validation flag is blank, then only in that case we are setting the date validation flag as T. Below to that we are checking for the range. So you can see if even from date is greater than even to date and even from date is not 0, as well as even to date is also not 0, then in that case we are passing the date validation flag as I. Okay, why we are setting this flag? Just for the validation purpose. So once all the flags are setted, then we will check the logic and provide the error message accordingly. Fine. Now below to that what we are doing, we are checking if even select leave SELLEV is 0 and W underscore date validation is blank. In that case we are setting the date validation flag as R, which will represent range means the radio button. Okay, now below to that we are using select when for checking the flag status, and if the flag status is F, then we are setting the message accordingly. So let's see how. When W underscore date validation is F, then clear the indicator. So let's see what all thing we are doing here in clear INDDS. So I'm searching for it. So this is a very small procedure. I will show you. I will go to bottom and then I will search this in reverse order because we have used this many places. So you can see that this is the procedure, clear INDS. Clear INDS. Okay, so here what we are doing, we are just clearing the from date RIPC and to date RIPC. Fine. So let's go to top again, search for the same indicator. So if date validation flag is F, then we are clearing the INDS and we are populating the S1 error messages invalid from date. After that we are turning on the from date RIPC and then clearing the even from date. Similarly, if date validation is T, then we are using the clear INDS procedure and then we are populating the error messages invalid to date, turning on the indicator to date RIPC and clearing the even to date field. If W underscore date validation is I, then clearing the indicator again. So that's why we have wrote a procedure for this, because we are going to use this many places, right? So W underscore dollar clear INDS we have called. After that we are populating the error message as invalid date range, clearing the from date as well as the to date. Now when the W underscore date validation is R, then we are clearing the indicators again and populating the message ERR message, which is please select leave type. Fine. If all those conditions are false, then it will lie in the other block. So let's see what we are doing in other block. Here we are firstly clearing the indicator again and then we are running one loop, which is we are running one procedure which is calculate leaves. So let's see what we are doing here in calculate leave. So this is the procedure to calculate leaves. Here what we are doing, we are calculating the leaves. So let's see what logic we have implemented. So here you can see that W underscore number of days, firstly we are calculating the number of days. So for this what we are doing, we are using percentage diff built-in function which is calculating the date difference between even to date and even from date in terms of days, and then we are adding 1 to it. Okay, so it will find out the difference between to date and from date in number of days, then we are adding 1 to it, and after that we are storing the W underscore leave date as the converted date from date, because from date is coming from screen, which is a string value. So we are converting it to date and then we are storing it into W underscore leave date. Below to that what we are doing, we are running one loop which is W underscore number of days till the W underscore number of days is not 0. Here what we are doing, we are checking W underscore leave date num equals to, so we are storing the numeric value of the date. So W underscore leave date converted to decimal, then we are calculating the day of week. This is very important logic because from this only we are skipping the weekends. So you can see day of week is percentage remainder of difference between leave date number value and this format. So D and D apostrophe 0001. So this is the default value. So I keep it as like this in terms of days, and then whatever the output we are getting, we are taking the remainder of the same with 7. Okay, so these line number 220 and line number 221 is very important for calculating the day of week. If day of week is 5 or 6, then we are going to skip the leave, because this 5 means it is coming on Saturday and 6 means it is coming on the Sunday. So what we are doing, we are just adding the leave skip as one more, means we are incrementing leave skip by 1. Then doing end if, and we are calculating again the w underscore leave date, which is w underscore leave date plus days 1. So we are adding one by one to this for iterating the loop, and then we are decrementing the w underscore number of days as with -1. So what this thing will do, it will start from the from date and go one by one. We will add that, and the below line is used for iterating the loop. Then undo and end procedure. So this is all about the calculate leave procedure. Now we will again go to the same line from where we are calling this, and below to that what we are checking, select when even select leave type is 1. It means user have selected earned leave, then doing the chain with even emp id on emp leave dtlr file. If record found, then w underscore number of days we are again calculating, because in previous logic we have, in previous procedure we have already changed, we have modified something. So we are calculating again the number of days, which is percentage date even to date and percentage date even from date in terms of days, and then we are adding 1 to it. After that we are calculating the number of days. So w underscore number of days would be w underscore number of days minus leave skip. So whatever the leaves which are on the Saturday and Sunday, we have already calculated the leave skip number, so we are just subtracting those leaves from here. Then we are calculating the earned leave balance. So e underscore el balance is e underscore el balance minus number of days, because now if suppose we have applied the leave for 2 days, then it will subtract the balance by with the 2. And similarly we are updating the even leave avail date field also. So even leave avail field also. So e underscore leave avail plus number of days, because if you have took the 2-day leave, then it will update your leave available balance as with 2. Then we are doing the update on file emp leave dtlr. This is my record format name, clearing the leave skip and doing it the end if. Same logic we have implemented, but this time we are checking for the leave type 2, which is CL. So you can see same chain operation is performed, same manner we have calculated the w underscore number of days, calculating the e underscore cl balance, leave avail, and updating the same file, but this time we are doing it for the cl, not for the el. Then clearing the leave skip, end if, end sl, clear the employer dashboard, end sl, and end procedure. So this is the end of this procedure, which is validate date. So let me go back to the line from where we are calling this, and after that we are just doing the end to. Okay, so this is the entire logic for processing the employee dashboard. Once it is completed, then you can simply go and compile your source. As I'm creating a module, so I'm taking 15 here, because we have created many procedures inside this. So it is compiled, and post that you can compile your main program. So I have already written the CL, so I will directly compile this, and if I call this, then it will work as expected. Okay, so from here you can see that we can perform, we have already saw the demo how to apply the leave. So the logic we have already now discussed, like how to write a logic for processing the employee dashboard. Now after this, what we will discuss the screen designing for the manager dashboard, and then we will see the logic, and in the end what we will do, we will take the program in debug mode, and we'll see like how the process is going for the entire application, as well as I will show you the demo or the purpose of these two CL variable, because I'm using this, and this would be very useful for you also, because the moment when you started working with the ILE, then it is a bit tedious to create again and again the programs and modules, then compiling it, right? So for that reason you can create these kind of CL program that will help you to save your time while developing the application. Okay, so now we will discuss the screen designing for the manager dashboard. Okay, so far we have discussed the logic for the employee dashboard. Now what we will do, we will discuss the screen designing for the manager dashboard, and then we will see the logic for the same. So before we see the designing, I will call the program and show you the actual screen for which we are going to discuss the screen designing. So calling my program, this time I will log in with my manager ID, which is TECH Tech N123. So this is the manager dashboard. So this is how it look like, and you can see that from here you can insert the value, and then we can update the detail for a particular employee, right? So now in this portion we are going to cover the designing part of this screen. So let me take you to that display file. So this is my display file. I will take option 17 here, and in the same manner we added this login page and employee dashboard. We will add one more record with mng underscore dashboard name, and we will take option 12 here to open this screen. Now this is a blank screen. Previously it was a blank screen, and we have designed all these information here. Okay, so you can divide this entire screen into three parts. First one is the header portion. Till here it is an head, you can consider it as header. Then this is the normal screen, main screen, and then this portion we can consider as a footer. So let's see one by one. So like in a previous records also we discuss these details in brief, like how to add the output field, input field, and both mode field, right? So now we will just go in a quick way. So you can see that this is a normal text, then this user name is coming from the function star user, then this is the program name, and this is the output field for populating the program name. We have assigned some name to this, which is S1 prog name. This is a normal text. This is a normal text with color yellow. Then manager ID, manager dashboard. Then this is a normal text, date, time, and these values are coming from the functions date, start date, and start time. Below to this we are showing this line. So this line you can create by using single quote, then put some extra spaces, and then hit enter, then go and take asterisk. From here you can select the reverse image, which is RI, and then it hit enter. So this is how this line will come into the place. So I'm deleting it, and in the same manner I have designed this line. Now below to this we are just populating one heading, which is employee details, and this is a normal text employee ID, and we have created one both mode field and assigned the name to this field as M1 EMP Then this is again a normal text, and this is the both mode field for numeric, which is M1 leave avail. So this will show the leave availed, and M1 is used for the prefix as a manager one. Then this is a M1 EL balance, and in the same way we have created the M1 CL balance. Okay, now below to this we have just declared one normal text. We have keep this normal text as inside a quote and change the color to blue, and here it is written press F6 to update data, because we are only allowing the data updation when user press F6. Then this is a normal line, and below to this in footer portion we have designed one output. We have added one output field, which is S1 error message. This field we will use to populate the error messages. Then F3 for exit and F12 for cancel is the text description for the function keys. So this is all about the designing portion. Now we'll take option 8 on the record to check the indicators. Here you can see that we have added 3 indicators: CF03 for exit, CF12 for cancel, and CF06 for update. Fine. After that you can simply compile your display file. Display file is compiled, and once it is compiled you can compile your main source also. And as I have already told you that I kept all my sources in this for compilation, so I'm directly compiling my CL program. So once you compile it, it will open this screen
and from here you can put your manager ID. So this is how the screen will look like. Okay, now how these values are getting populated, what all process we are doing from here, this the logic for that we will discuss when we are going to discuss the main logic for manager dashboard. For now I will show you the quick demo for this screen. So suppose if manager want to update the detail for the employee Sharmit, so he will put the employee ID which is Sharmit and hit enter. Invalid. Okay, yeah, so I provide a correct employee ID. Now it shows earn leave, casual leave and leave availed by this employee. Now if I wanted to change these data, then what I can do, I can put, let's say I make it as 50, it 50 and also leave availed as 50. Okay, now here it is mentioned press F6 to update the data. So I will press F6. So once I press F6, it is updated. Now if employee login with the same ID, Sharmit 123, then he will see the updated data, right? Leaves available is now 50, earned leave is 50 and casual leave is 50. So this is how manager dashboard we can use manager dashboard in order to change or update the data for a particular user. So here I'm providing the employee ID Sharmit, that's why it is showing all the data related to the Sharmit. You can keep all other required validation as per your requirement, but for now we are just dealing with these data. So we are just checking for these. Okay, so this is how we can utilize, we can design the manager dashboard, and we also see the quick process of the manager dashboard screen. Now we will directly jump on to the logic part for the same.
Okay, so far we have discussed the screen designing as well as the demo for the manager dashboard. Now we will discuss the logic, like what all logic we have implemented behind the manager dashboard screen. Okay, so I'll take this program in edit mode, leave management SSR, and the tag that we are going to discuss today in this portion is TS03. So if I search for this, so here we have added one procedure for show MNG procedures, right? DCL PR, then show MNG, and we are not taking any input, and also we are not sending any output from this procedure. That's why we make this as blank procedure. Then in next line, if I search again, then here we are calling this. So when the user type is M, so above, if I do scroll up, then you can see till here we have already discussed. Now if user type is M, it means it is a manager. So if user is manager, then we are calling this procedure show mng, which is an external procedure. So these are the only changes that we have implemented in this program for TS03. Firstly, we declare procedure and then we are calling that procedure. Everything is implemented inside this procedure. So let's see what all things we have added in this show mng procedure, which is an external procedure. So now we will make a module of it. So I will make 15. It is created. Now this is the procedure show mng dsp. This is the procedure source where my procedure is exported. So I will show you taking the program in edit mode, pressing shift F7. So you can see that here also we are using the same tag TS03. So if I search here for TS03, then you can see firstly we are declaring one physical file as well as one display file. So on line number 13 we are declaring the display file, which is leave mngst, work stn is keyword for the display file. INDDS we are using for the indicator, for providing the indicator detail, which is in pgm ind, which is ds. Then we are declaring one file leave emp leave detail, keyword is disk, and uses this star input output update, and this is a keyed file, so I keep this keyword keyed. If I go ahead, then this is the indicator data structure that we are using, pgm ind, and all the indicator we have mentioned here, like 03 for exit, F12 for cancel, from data RIPC, to data RIPC, update indicator. So these are the indicator detail. Now if I go ahead, then you can see that from here we have started the main procedure, which is DCL proc show mng. So this is the procedure that we are going to export from this. So whenever the leave management SSR program call this procedure will came into the place. Okay, now make sure that this procedure name, the exported procedure name, and your source name should not be same. That's why I make it as show mng dsb, and my exported procedure name is show mng, otherwise it will give error. Now from here, if I do page down, inside a procedure, firstly we are clearing few things like resetting the exit indicator, resetting the S1 error message. Then we are running one loop till the IN03 is off or exit is off. Now after that, we are populating the program name show mng dsb to the S1 program name screen field. This is the screen field, and then we are doing the exfmt on the manager dashboard screen. So this line will show the uh, screen, manager dashboard screen. Below to that, we are checking if cancel is on. It means user has pressed the F12 key. Then we are resetting. Firstly, we are resetting the cancel button or cancel indicator, and then leaving the loop. Else we will process the further line. In further line, we are clearing the S1 error message again, and if update indicator is off, only in that case we are loading the data. So let's see what all things we are doing in this load data routine procedure. Okay, so this is the procedure that we are using. Yes, so this procedure is mainly used to validate the employee ID as to this procedure we are using for loading the data. So you can see that firstly we are declaring it with DCL proc load data as procedure name. Then we are doing the chain on file emp leave detail with no lock. No lock means if same file is opened somewhere else, then to avoid the conflict scenarios, we are using chain with no lock, and we are doing the chain with the help of m1 emp id, manager employee id. Okay, if record found, then we are populating the file fields into the screen fields. So the fields which is prefixed with e underscore is the file field, and the fields which are prefixed with m1 is the screen fields. So we are just populating the data to these fields, and else if record is not there, then we are clearing the manager dashboard and providing the error message as invalid employee id. Then doing endif and star lr on, so it will end, and then we are ending the procedure. Okay, so this procedure name I need to change. This is not in comments, this is not the validate emp id. By mistakenly it was copied, so I will make it as load data. Okay, this procedure is for load data. I'll search again. So if update indicator is on off, then only we are loading the data. And then next what we are checking, if update indicator is on, then we are updating the data, update data, as well as once the data is updated, then we are again loading the data and reset the update indicator. So let's see what we are doing in update data procedure. If I do search, then this procedure is to update the employee record. So here we are doing the chain on same file emp leave detail. If record found, then we are moving the screen field. Now because if at the time of updation user has provided all the information on the screen fields, then we are updating those screen fields to the file fields. So in at the time of load, we were doing the reverse process, like we are uploading the data from file field to screen field, but this time we are moving the screen fields value to file fields. Then we are updating the emp leave dtlr file, and this is my file record format. Else we are giving the message clear manager dashboard, or uh, clearing the manager dash else we are clearing the manager dashboard and populating the error messages invalid employee id, and then doing endif ILR on and end procedure. So this is how this procedure is designed. Now if I go to the top again, then you can see after that we are again loading the data with the same procedure. This, because if the value is updated, then we need a updated value on the screen, so we are updating, we are loading the data again and clearing the reset update indicator. We are resetting the update indicator because next time if someone wants to press the key again, then it should be in the default state. Then doing endif, undo, and ILR equals to star on and end procedure. So this is a quite simple module, you can say, where we are just checking and providing the data on the screen, then we are updating it. So that's so simple.
Once it is ready, then you can make a module of this procedure also. And um, in main program you can see that for TS03 what we are doing, we are just declaring the procedure, blank procedure, and then we are calling it. So when this line got executed at number 94, then this procedure get invoked, and whatever the things we have implemented there will get executed. Okay, so this is how this process will work. And so far, like, we have completed all the basic details of all the manager as well as the employee dashboard. And now we have almost completed the case study, and now we will discuss the demo, or you can say we will take one scenario in a debug mode, and we'll see like how the process is going on. So this will be our final demo for this case study. All right, so now we will have a final demo for this entire application that we have built. So I will call the program and I will show you the output first, and then we'll take the program in debug mode and we'll see the process. Okay, so firstly I'm login with my ID, which is employee ID Sharmit123. So this is how employee dashboard will look like. From here we can apply the leaves. So I will show you the positive scenarios, all the positive scenarios. So I'm providing the date as 2023-0523, 2023-0523. So this time it should apply. If I select the earned leave, then it should deduct one leave from here and it should be added to this leave availed. So if I hit enter, you can see that changes is applied, which is working fine, right? Now I will show you the another scenario. Suppose by mistakenly someone applied the leave, then in that case manager have that authority to revert the leave. So I will log in with my manager ID, and from here I can put my employee name, which is Sharmit. You can see this data is here. Now I can make the correction if there is any requirement. So I will make these two fields again 50, and then there it is mentioned press F6 to update the data. So I will press F6. It is updated. Okay, so next time whenever the employer log in into their system, he can see the updated data, which is coming as 50. Okay, so this is all about this manager and employee dashboard. And if we provide any wrong data here, let's say if I provide 2023-02-31, so it will highlight this error like invalid from date. And likewise we are checking all the validation which is required here. So this is the process. Now I will tell you about the my two sources that I have created in CL that we were using for the compilation debugging purpose. So I will show you. Once you are done with all the modules, so what you can do, you can create a module once. So I will, by using 15 option, all modules are compiled. Now we will open this compiler and we'll see what we are doing in this compiler module. So here what we are doing, we are just simply creating the module for all the sources. We are we are compiling the modules. You can see the CRT RPG mod. If I take F4 here, then this is for leave management sysr program, which is in library Sharmit1. Source file is q leave management sys library Sharmit1, and source member is module. And here you can see that in debugging view I make it as star source, so that every time it would, just a second, every time it will compile the source module with source. Okay, so this is how this compiler option will work. Means first line will create the module for leave mng sysr. Similarly, second line number 6 will make the module for check user, and third line number 9 will make the module for show mng dsp. So these three line will create the modules for the provided sources. After that we need to create one program, because we are using ILE concepts. So in that case we need to attach all the modules into one program, and then that program we will call for the for calling purpose, right? So you can see we are using crt pgm command. So crt pgm, and then in pgm I am passing the library Sharmit1. My program name would be main pgm, and then we are attaching all the modules. Okay, so you can see all the modules we have attached here, like leave management sysr, check user, show mng dsp along with their libraries. So what this line will do, it will create one program with the name of main pgm, which is a combination of all the modules, and then we are simply calling this program. So that's why I was using this compiler program, because after calling this, it will create all the modules again, as well as it will create and replace the program main pgm and then call it. So it will save my time. Instead of creating one by one each modules, we are directly calling this compiler program and it will do all the things for me. Okay. Similarly, we have created another source for debugger. Here you can see that firstly we are creating all the modules with source because it is required. Then we are doing end-dbg, because suppose if someone has already started the debug condition, then in that case it would give error. So to handle that error, what we are doing end-debug, and in mon message we are checking if message id is cpf0000, then we are doing executing the command go to command label process1. So it will automatically come here without any program failure. Here we are we are creating the program again, because all the modules have been created with sources. So we are creating the program again, and then we are running the strdbg command to put my program on debug mode with option update prod yes and opm source yes, and then we are calling it. After that process is completed, we are just doing the end debug. So this is how this debugger program is. Okay, now I will compile this and I will call this. So now we will put the program in debug mode and we'll see one positive scenario for both the dashboard. So I'm calling this. So this time there is no need to compile module sources with source, and then there's no need to put the program in debug, because all these things we are doing inside a CL program. So I'm directly calling this. It will take my program in debug mode, which is here. Now you can directly set breakpoint as 1, and if I press F10 here, it will directly call the program as well. It will show take me to the first line. From here we will go step by step and we'll discuss the all process.
So from here, if I press F10, it will go to the first line, and one by one it will process all the lines, right? So here you can see that it enters to the do loop, then it populates the name to the S1 program name field, then it shows the login screen. And from here, if I provide employee ID and password, then it will go and it will use this procedure, which is check user type procedure. So if I do F10 here, shift F10 here, then it comes in the check user procedure, and then you can see that all processing we are doing here, like validation and everything that we are checking, is coming in this portion. And then from here it returns the user type. Once the user type is returned, then it will go and check for the when condition. When the user type is E, means employee, then it process the below lines. So one more procedure is there, load emp data. In that it will load the data from file field to the screen fields, and then go and show the dashboard. From here, if I provide the date, which is 20230523, 20230523, and this time I would like to apply leave for EL. So if I hit enter with the correct data, then it will go and go for the validate procedure. So here I can press shift F10 for further processing, and you can see that it tests the date, then it apply for the required validation, and one by one it will go. Also it process that calculate leave procedures, right? So it checks for all the things and then update the data in the file, and after that it will again come and load the data and show the same dashboard again. You can see that leave is applied. In the same manner, if I log in, let's say if I want to log in with my manager dashboard, manager ID password, then we can provide that, and from here you can process the same manner. And from here, if I put my ID as Sharmit, employee ID Sharmit, then it shows the below data. Okay, and likewise if I go and change the data here, then it will also update the data. Instead of enter, if I press F6, because F6 is for the update, it will update the data. So data is updated. So this is how this process the entire process is working on. And for manager dashboard, it goes into the show manager procedure, where all the processing is handled by the show manager dashboard screen. Okay, so by this we are good with all the flow for the program that we have created for the entire application, and we have discussed each and every step. Now what you can do, you can go through this session and just try to replicate the same code, try to implement the same code in your system, and it will enhance your skills. Means it will help you to understand the concepts easily, and once it is ready, then you can like enhance as per your requirement also. Like you can do some modification in the same kind of application, and you can build the further portion of this application, because right now we are just handling two screen, where we are providing a portal for employee to apply the leave, and manager can update the leave details. So see, likewise you can create many other screens also as per your requirement. So yeah, that's all about the entire application. So if you have any suggestion, you can share in the chat comment box. And thank you for watching Tech Sharmat.